want to bum everyone out, but sad day for Los Angeles yesterday, especially for a community in the Valley. If you live in the Valley, you've been to the Valley, pretty much anywhere, I feel like you've heard of this place, which up until yesterday, because I guess it finally officially shut down, was a great place to go. I mean, kids or not, dates, etc. I had a lot of memories at the Weddington golf/tennis. It was like a little community thing in the middle of.
But it wasn't like a big sprawling golf course. It was like a little
pitch. I think we went there. I think the first time we ever played together, Allie was there, and I was realizing
it's the only time we've played.
Only time we ever played together there, and I realized Allie's pretty bad at golf. I can't go out with her ever again.
Horrible.
But it's actually where I met Postmaster Johnny for the first time ever. He was working there. It was during COVID, and he was handing out the buckets of balls, and he had to meet you outside, make you sign a release form. He wouldn't let me in unless I signed the release form.
Aww.
And
they had good food there, too.
Great breakfast burritos. Very underrated. One of my favorites.
Shout out Cafe Southwest, baby.
Cafe Southwest. Ruben there at Cafe Southwest. A good operation. And there was a whole battle that had been brewing for, I feel like, 2 years now between the residents of that neighborhood and Harvard Westlake, which is like, you know, if you think about any great movie, there's always the evil, it's always like the evil rich yuppies, and then it's the real regular people. I mean, it's almost like the same exact story as the movie Caddyshack, if you think about it. You had all these people that were working at this little golf.
Was there a gopher?
Oh, yeah, that thing was all torn up. They had all sorts of animals living on that course.
I mean, it was rough looking.
Coyotes.
Rough looking. Yeah, that was the best part about that place, too. Is that
there was no pressure.
It was in such bad shape that if you missed like shots, which you would do often, you'd be like, "Well, the greens are kind of all ripped up."
It was like the KROQ of golf courses.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah,
really
but I will say this: the community rallied around it, and for years that was a place where you would see someone playing their first ever golf round, and then you'd also see like occasionally there was like celebrity. Johnny would always tell me because he worked there for a while.
Yeah, for like a minute I had a job. My job was to like watch Ashton Kutcher golf and make sure nobody else went up to him and took photos or just like bothered him and his kid. And he gave me his golf glove too, which is really dope.
But I mean, we would see like, because I would go there. My kids were taking, they went to some like tennis lesson thing there. I would see Pete Wentz, a Fall Out Boy there all the time. Yeah. I would see, who else? There's like
Josh Homme, Mark Foster, Foster the People. The dude from Tears for Fears, the old guy, was there.
Yeah, lead singer of War on Drugs.
Were you hired to watch him?
No, he didn't. No one bothered that guy. But like,
you watched the guy from Tears for Fears?
But the real thing that was so frustrating is that it felt like in the middle of this massive city, there was this kind of little neighborhood thing, and people knew about it, and they would go to it, and it seemed always crowded, but it was crazy.
It was low-key enough, though, that celebrities liked going there, and new people liked going there.
And you could play around a golf. You could play like this little 9-hole thing. I mean, it was not a real, as Ali said, not a real course, but it was like, I want to say it was like $7 or something.
Yeah, it was cheap, and it didn't take very long. So if you had like an hour or two to kill, it was a good place to go.
So there was a big battle that had been brewing for a while now where the school, I guess, wanted to buy it, and the neighbors were fighting it, and it was going back and forth, and they were holding it up. And
so
eventually,
what did the yuppies want?
Well, they wanted to buy it. Harvard Westlake wanted to buy it and own it and basically do whatever they wanted to do with it, which was turn it into...
Do they want to make it a golf course still? Or
No, they're building a sports complex for their own sports team. So they're making a swimming pool, a gym, a soccer field, and all this other crap. And
so Johnny was all bummed out because he said a bunch of people he used to work with, they're all like, they all kind of lost their gigs, and that place is going to be shut down. So he went over there almost like a grave robbery yesterday to try to grab some of the... the memories, because that place had been around. That place has been around forever,
since
right?
like 1946.
What?
Like Bob Hope and all those old guys. Yeah, like that place is like iconic, and like now it's like no mo's.
But it's interesting when a place like that closes down and how people process it, because some people process by just kind of going, "Oh, that's a bummer," and then they move on with their lives, and other people like you, Johnny, go there to steal stuff.
No, I mean that place gave me everything. I owe that place. I owe my whole life and like everything to that one job, because that job changed my life. But like, what's annoying though is like,
I thought this job changed your life.
Oh, this job did too, but like, I don't get here without working at Weddington.
My life changes a lot.
How many jobs changed your life? You can't just throw that around.
My life is always changing, man. I'm grateful for this little life. I love this little life.
Yeah,
this
but
is crazy.
Yeah, but
your first job. What was your first job ever?
First job ever, I was a preschool teacher.
Did that
And did
change?
that-
Did that
yeah.
change your life?
Yeah, because that made me
All right.
realize I wanted to
Forget
have
it
kids.
then.
God, we are not special.
I thought I would go around and tell people, I'm like, yeah, this little kid we hired to work here, he's like, he keeps saying every day we changed his life. Now I realize you throw that around with every dumb job you
this
have.
This place is like heaven to me. I swear. Like this is literally like the greatest job until I
But-
get hired somewhere else.
But
maybe.
with your old play with Weddington, you went there to pay your respects, but also to take home some souvenirs, which happens.
Yeah, but like they had already set some stuff aside for me. But like when I went there, though, like my coworkers were telling me, they're like, "Fool, like everybody's been taking everything, dog. Like everything's stolen." Like
What is that impression you're doing?
those are my homies that work there.
Right.
That's the fool Roman that worked there. They've been there for years.
Hey, let me ask you this. I don't want to grave rob like you are, but what are they doing with that cool cart they used to drive around the driving range to pick up all the balls? I'd love to drive that up and
Well,
down
the
the
one with the
streets.
cage on it?
Yeah,
Klein,
the
your
cage
tennis
car.
instructor broke that thing, dude. He broke it like 3 months ago. Because I was asking too. I was like, dude, can we take that? And he was just like, no, that dude Andrew Kimmelman like broke that.
So
golf
it broke, and then for 3 months, just none of the balls were being cleaned up?
No, like the Marshall cart. Are you talking about the big thing with the cage that drives on the
Yeah,
range?
yeah.
Oh, that belongs to Harvard Westlake. Those yuppies took that.
Oh,
They took it. Yeah, that's a
man.
bummer. Yeah, they're shutting it all down, I guess. They have to be a student now. Now Allie and I have to enroll at Harvard Westlake,
Now we gotta, yeah.
which I don't think
I
we'll
went
get.
to
So we can
Harvard.
do laps in their Olympic-sized
Yeah.
swimming pool.
And I don't think we'll get in, unfortunately, because I think you have to have like a lot of money and be smart and stuff.
No, but I
So-
remember in the Bay Area when Candlestick shut down, everybody was ripping seats out, and they were
Sure.
trying to take home, original Candlestick seats and signs and all this kind
What-
of stuff that was
Look,
there.
I know when the soup plantation was shutting down, people were going there to steal silverware. I mean, that's like the saddest grave robbing there is. Like that silverware at soup plantation was not good to begin with. They
Yeah,
were like,
but they
I
had
want to
good
have
soup
a fork.
spoons. They
did have
those
good
super
spoons.
wide soup spoons. You
Yes.
can't get those.
But it is a strange emotion you go through, like, the death of a location or a place that you went to. And even if it's a place you can go to regularly, you do get all nostalgic and you start thinking,
Yeah.
oh, man, that was the first. Because that's all I kept hearing from people. That's the first place. My dad took me there. That's the first. So if you've lived in Southern California for any amount of time, there's a good chance at some point maybe you made your way over to Weddington. But I guess last night there's a bunch of people standing on the sidewalk doing a candlelight vigil for it.
what?
I was
Weird.
I was kind of down for it for like a minute, and they put a candle in my hand, but then they started singing "Kumbaya," and I was like, okay.
They
And then-
did?
But then they started singing "Brown Eyed Girl" by Van Morrison, and I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. Like this is where I dip. This is so dumb.
What the hell? That song has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it was very
A brown-eyed girl worked there one day.
changed Johnny's life last night. The candlelight vigil forever. So there you have it. R.I.P. Weddington.
817's just amazed that Klein has a tennis instructor. What's that about?
Johnny's saying it wrong. It's the guy that taught my little kid like a kids clinic thing. Brought my
So a
kids.
tennis instructor, that's what it is, dude.
Yeah,
A
I know.
tennis
But you make it
instructor.
sound like I'm going there every day trying to get on tour or something like that. It's not the case. Anyway, we got lots to get into. And your ADD news coming up right here on KROQ.
Klein, Alley Show. The world famous KROQ. KROQ.